Hi everyone, so this week's video is actually going to be a vlog, and the reason for this is because obviously NaNoWriMo is coming up in a couple months, and I thought it would be the perfect opportunity to get some planning videos in because, as you may or may not know, I have started planning the second book, or the sequel to The Definition of Love, and I'm actually going to put my camera down to talk a little bit more about it. And it's currently the 12th of August for me. It's the first day back from hiatus. I'm not actually currently wearing any makeup. Was going to wear makeup, then decided not to put it on, but my face is still like prepped if I do want to. But I don't think I'm going to because it's already 25 past 3. But for the last, I would say, half an hour to 45 minutes, I've actually been working on a new song. The other day, I suddenly got this like inspiration. I got this bit of inspiration that hit me, and I just wrote down, got the song out, and I have had to alter some of the lyrics already, and I'm happy with it. I've got the chords all sorted out as well, so it's pretty much all done. Although when it comes to my songs, I do feel very limited, and I feel very limited and uninspired when it comes to my music, because obviously I want to be able to put other instruments into my songs, but obviously I only play guitar, so it's limiting. Getting onto the subject of The Definition of Love and Book 2. So I have already been planning. I've done a lot of planning on it already. If you haven't seen that, please make sure you go ahead and check out my Instagram. All of my social media links will be in the description below for you to check out if you so wish to. But Instagram is my main place, and you'll see that I'm most active on Instagram. That's that. And going back to planning, I've been doing the same process as I did for The Definition of Love. However, I have changed up slightly, and instead of putting every piece of paper up on this wall behind me, I've actually been writing it up. So in book 2 there are 4 parts, and the first 2 parts are already pre-outlined and ready to be outlined next month. Hopefully I can get all of the parts done before the end of this month so I can start outlining early, because I'd really like to be able to do that. But for now, it's time to tidy this area up. Okay, so now I've kind of had like a half-hour break. I am going to sit down for about an hour and work through part 3. It is now about 5 o'clock, and my bed currently looks like this. So here I've got part 3 lined out. I then have this subplot which I need to somehow work into part 3 and 4, and part 4 is that pile there. I've also got a pile of plain paper for like quick scenes if I need to quickly write something down. Apologies for this tan. I recently went on holiday and got very sunburnt, and then I just had my laptop here. And for the last hour I've obviously been doing this. For the first half an hour though, I actually got a chance to write another song for the Definition of Love album. I don't think I've really talked about this a lot, but I'd really like to have some sort of EP or album for all of my books. I don't know if that's too adventurous or not, I don't know, but that is the general idea. I know I'm going to have one for The Definition of Love, and I know I'm going to have one for the second book, so we'll see how the rest of the series pans out. But for now, the first book will have one, because I've already gotten a few songs for that. And I think it is now time to go and find out what is for tea, and then I'm going to come back. So I'm basically going to have a little break. I have now had about a 10-minute break. Very quick, very short, but that's kind of like how I like it. And I just kind of want to get back into sorting this all out. And I need to be mindful of dates and days, months, because obviously there are 4 parts in the second book. The first part is September, 2nd October, 3rd November, 4th December, and I have to be like, because it's like, what's the word, a contemporary novel, and it's set mainly in a college, I need to be mindful of term dates. It is currently about 6:30 and I think it's been raining pretty much all day. Obviously you wouldn't have been able to tell because I haven't shown you at all. But I think it has been raining pretty much all day, and it's so nice. It's just so nice to be planning a book that is actually set in the winter with like autumnal weather like starting to occur. It's just really nice. I have been writing up scene ideas pretty much most of this afternoon. Most of the work I've been doing is just writing those scene ideas, getting them down, and I think later on tonight it will be a case of printing them off, chopping them up and popping them into the pre-outline, which is all very exciting. I'm going to show you my bed quickly, even though I've not done much, but still looks like this. I think I've changed it slightly since you've seen it. So here I've got part 4, nope, not part 4, part 3. Then I've got that subplot I was on about earlier, and then I have part 4 here as well, which I actually need to go ahead and number in a minute, because it's not numbered yet. But first I need a quick break because my bladder is about to burst. So it's now 7:45 and I am taking a bit of a long break now because it is tea time, and I'm going to show you what I have, because if you didn't know, I've started on Slimming World. And I just really want to show you my tea. So I've got pasta with tomatoes, the salad tomatoes cut into quarters, and I also have some chicken in there as well, and I've put I basically have a tablespoon of lighter than light mayonnaise in here as well. So there you go, that's my tea. It's now 8:30 and I am in my pyjamas. I'm just wearing this green top and my just some pyjama trousers, which I love. Obviously I've had my tea now. I also printed off a few more scene ideas, that the ones that I had written up earlier on. I don't actually know how many I have, but some of them are ridiculously long. I'm obviously not going to like zoom in to the camera because I don't want to spoil anything, but two massive ones. Bearing in mind, when I write my scene ideas, I like to have it very detailed, so I don't have to go in later and add that detail during outlining. So I do that in this stage. I probably have about 3 stages of outlining. It's that ridiculous and tedious. I've got this stage, which I consider pre-outlining, and then I've got my outlining, and then my outline edit, which I'm actually going to do this time around, because while writing the definition of love, I had to do a lot of editing with my outline, and I don't want to have to do that again. So I'm going to actually do that this time around. 8 scene ideas to add in. I'm going to go ahead and do that and listen to some more music while I do that, because I'm loving the new album by As It Is. I really like it, and if you haven't listened to it yet or given it a chance, I would highly recommend it. I did a video on it not last week, the week before. Ooh, okay, my back hurts now because I've been like leaning over my bed for the last hour or so, and I'm gonna sit properly this time. So it is now about 9:30 and I've been doing this for about an hour now, actually precisely an hour, and I think I finished this stage of part 3, which is an amazing feeling. But looking at it right now is ridiculous because it's 26 scenes, and I'm pretty sure part 2 was not this big. I am going to show you in just one sec. Might end up adding a couple more scenes, but because it's already 26 scenes, I'm like, I can't add any more. And I think, obviously, reading through this all, it doesn't really flow. It will obviously flow better, like, once it's been outlined, and then the first draft has been written, but for the time being, it's just really not flowing. Which is fine because, you know, that can be changed and everything. And then part 4, I have started the layout for, but I don't think it's done. Why is my battery flashing? I've got the general layout for part 4, and part 3 is pretty much done. So all of this here, so this and this is part 3. It's ridiculous, but I'm gonna go with it. And then part 4 is that. I think the thing is that part 4 is more of the resolution as well. It needs to be shorter than part 3. I think part 3 will end up being the longest. And I've worked out that because I want the whole book to hopefully finish at 120,000 words, and I have 4 parts. Each part needs to be about 30,000 words, but I have a feeling part 3 is going to be about 40,000, part 4 is going to be about 20,000. But tomorrow, what I'm actually going to do tomorrow is write up part 3, because if I start that tonight, I won't get to sleep until midnight, and I still need to take my tablets. Good morning, everyone. So it is the 13th of August. It is Monday and my parents are back at work. My sister is currently out with a friend and my brother is at my nan's, so yes, I am home alone. In all honesty, today I'm just not really feeling it. Don't know what to do, really, because like I don't really have anyone to like speak to or anything like that. I don't really have anything to do because obviously my family aren't here, and it's getting to the point where I know I need to work on the sequel to The Definition of Love, but I don't want to be doing that all the time because I don't want to burn myself out. However, I have already laid out all of the scenes for part 3 out in order. It's currently about 11:20, and I think because I didn't have much for breakfast this morning, I think I might have an early lunch and then write this up. But for the time being, I'm just going to leave everything here. I'm going to go downstairs, and I'm also going to have an early lunch because I didn't have much for breakfast either. And it is now about 10 to 1. I've had probably about an hour and more to myself this morning. I just haven't been feeling good. I haven't been feeling the best. Obviously, I haven't spent the last hour just doing my lunch and having my lunch. I've also done the dishwasher. I've unloaded and loaded that back up because it was done. I've also put some washing in the washing machine, and now I want to work on part 3, and then we're going to go down and put the washing machine onto spin and drain in about an hour. I'm going to listen to The Great Depression, the album by As It Is, and I'm going to get on with it. It's now 20 to 3, and I am now completely done with part 3. I just need to staple this together. So I now have pretty much the whole, or almost the whole book pre-outlined, and I just went ahead and stapled this together. So I've now got part 3 done, and I'm actually home alone again, and the reason why I say that is because my mum did come back home from work. She actually had her lunch and then went back out because we didn't have much food left in this house. So my mum's gone out to get some more food, and it should last us until Thursday. Because I'm completely done with outlining today, I'm actually going to end today here, because the rest of today is going to be editing videos and also journaling, things like that. And I was gonna say I might start part 4 tonight, but I'm not sure. It honestly just depends, but for the time being, that is everything for today. Good morning, everyone. It is the 14th of August. It's Tuesday. I know I said I wouldn't be doing consecutive days in this vlog. I didn't say that directly, but I originally thought I wasn't going to, and then I just thought I might as well just vlog and show you this part of my day. But the reason why I've actually picked up the camera is because this morning I was supposed to have a meeting with my sister about something, and things changed, our plans changed, and we've decided not to have that meeting today because she's playing on The Sims, she's building on The Sims, and I actually do have some bookwork to do myself, so I am going to get on with it. Last night I came up with an idea for part 3 for book 2. I want to write that up and start working on part 4, so I think that's what I'm going to do. And honestly, I'm so excited about this book. I can't wait to reveal the title to you in September, October time. Obviously, I'm not going to reveal the title yet. However, I am going to start working on it. I don't actually have that much time. Obviously, it's 25 to 11 now. And I actually need to go out this afternoon. I've got a doctor's appointment. So as you know, this folder is the folder of dreams, and also the folder where I'm going to keep the whole entire series in. No clue what I'm calling the series yet. I have got all of the parts in one little pocket thing. What do you even call them? Sleeve? I know where this scene is actually going, so I'm gonna just write that in on the back, because I actually printed these one-sided because for reasons like this, for writing things on the back. I need to find a particular scene, and I put a star next to it, and then on the back I'm going to write that scene. So I have just kind of finished writing that scene up, and however, I would like to quickly kind of talk about what the second book is about. So in the first book there are 2 main characters, Lenny and Colton. However, in the second book there are 3 main characters, or 4 if you want to include one of the characters' girlfriends. So the 3 characters are 3 best friends, and there is Bailey Chapman, I don't actually know the others' surnames. So there's Bailey Anna Louise Chapman, Julian James Anderson, and Nolan Richard Reed. So Nolan Reed, Julian Anderson, and Bailey Chapman. And Bailey, she is really into guitar. She loves playing the guitar, and her life is pretty much all about the guitar, and she spends a lot of time practicing. When the whole book starts, she starts going backwards, and there are these bullies in college that she comes across, and they really hate her, and so they tell her that she's a bad guitarist and that she shouldn't try. They are basically really horrible to her, and that stems a lot of thoughts and a lot of emotions from Bailey, and she gets really shy about playing as well. And the only time she ever will play is at home, in the comfort of her home where she knows she's safe. And then there's Julian, and he is an ex-dancer, and he is also very shy. The only time he ever really speaks is when he definitely feels the need to. He likes expressing his emotions through his dance or his words, but he can't use words like speaking. It's more like write in the form of writing, things like poems, that type of thing, and that's how he expresses himself. And because he can no longer dance because of an injury, he can't express himself in that way, and I think that's why he's quite quiet and reserved. And then Nolan, on the other hand, is very confident. He's got a lot of boost in his step. He is always there for both of his friends, both Julian and Bailey, and he's also very protective of them, which can be a bad thing. Nolan is also the type of person that will do anything for his friends, and he protects them, keeps them safe. He doesn't like them feeling unwelcome or sad or anything negative at all. So he's really positive and really confident. And then Ulva is Nolan's girlfriend, and I can't really say much about her because she's an underdeveloped character, but obviously as I write the book, her character will develop a lot more. She can be quite confident, but there are times where she can be quite quiet, especially when she's concentrating on things. And like I said, all of these characters are in college, and pretty much most of the book is set in college. 1 second and I will tell you what Nolan and Ulva do in college, but first I will explain that Bailey and Julian are in the same course together, and that way they both have like their own backs. They have each other's backs. Okay, so college. So both Bailey and Julian do level 2 music. Okay, so here I've got, for their first year, Julian was in level 1 IT users, and Bailey was in level 1 creative media. But now they are both in the same course for their second year. And Nolan is in level 2 automotive maintenance and repair, so I think that's like car mechanics. So that's what he wants to go into. And then Ulva does level 2 technical certificate in hairdressing. It's about 11 o'clock, so I'm going to get part 4 out and start working on it. So it's now 1 o'clock, and I kind of lied when I said I was going to work on part 4 earlier, because what I actually ended up doing was making a big bowl of a pasta salad. I would show you, but like I'm not downstairs, and I'm actually now getting ready to head out because I have a doctor's appointment. at 2 o'clock. So good afternoon everyone, it is currently about 5 o'clock, it's almost 5 o'clock. I didn't vlog anything yesterday after, I can't actually remember what happened, but I think I vlogged and all I really did was print off part 3 and I haven't really done anything since because last night I actually went out and hung out with a friend, and then today it's just been one of those days where I haven't really wanted to do much. I actually want to crack on and work on part 4. I haven't really done anything today like regarding that sort of thing because I've just kind of gotten dressed, like gotten ready, put I would say a bit of makeup on, but I actually have foundation on today and don't know what it is, but I'm just really bored of wearing concealer all the time to make it look like I'm wearing foundation. Anyway, I'm actually going to crack on and do some outlining. So I thought I would kind of just sit here and go through what it is that I do when I am in this stage of when I'm in this outlining stage. I would really like to do a video on like my outlining stage, my outlining process, and the 3 stages of it, because the very first one is outlining. Nope. The very first stage is brain dump. So as I was saying, the first stage is a brain dumping, and I write all of my scene ideas down into one document. And when I do that, I usually keep my subplot ideas in mind. So, for example, there is one subplot in the book I'm currently outlining that is underdeveloped, and I actually need to go through parts 1 to 3 and add in more for that subplot, because otherwise it's just going to be weak and I need to add more to it. And it's where one of the characters has an eating disorder and it's just not planned out well, so I need to go back and sort that out. But today I'm working on part 4, which is the last part, and it is December because this book is a lot more planned. I don't really want to spoil anything, but I did want to quickly show you that there are obviously 13 parts in this, and I do have ideas and places where I do need to fill in. So I have ideas that I need to fill in, so I'm actually going to get on with that and then like just keep you updated on my progress. So I think I've been sat here for about half an hour and I haven't made a great deal of progress, but I am going to show you the progress that I have made. And I've managed to add in 3 more scenes, which is still something, and then that's about 10 minutes per scene because I've been at this for about half an hour. It's starting to look a bit better because before it was very thin and just very short, and I want to add some length to it. Obviously I still have like more subplots to wrap up in part 4 because part 4 is the last part in the book, so it's near the end, so there needs to be some sort of wrap up at some point. And because it's kind of a standalone book, I do need to wrap up most of the subplots, because I think there is going to be another Bailey, Julian, Nolan author book, but I don't know which book that's going to be yet. It might be 6 because obviously it's gone from Lenny's and Colton's to, let's just say, Bailey's and Julian's. And I think it must have been last night when I was on the bus and I was heading to a friend's house and I was thinking about my characters in this book, and I realised that Bailey's name is very close to an old friend's brother of mine. Is that making any sense? So basically an ex-friend of mine has a brother called Bailey, and I've only just realised that. I've had these names picked out for months, and I feel like I've only just realised that. I can't change it now, it's set. It's like set in stone. I can't change it because I've obviously announced it on here. I think I'm just going to have to go with it, and I think my ex-friend is definitely going to notice. But what can you do? Pretty much nothing. It's now 20 to 6. I'm going to have a break, have my tea, and then I'm going to come back to this. I'm not going back to outlining yet, and I probably have food around my mouth from my tea. But I kind of want to show you my pudding. Yes, very healthy, unhealthy, but I think this is going to count as my healthy B today. So I have now finished my tea and pudding. What I'm going to do now is read through, or not read through, but go through parts 1, 2 and 3 and make any, and add in any points, scenes that I think should be there. It's 6:45, I've read through part 1 and I've added a couple scenes. They weren't, but only one of them was related to the subplot I'm trying to work into the outline. I'm now going to move on to part 2. It's about 9:15 and I just got back from Slimming World. I don't think I've really explained anything about this, but I started Slimming World July? It must have been mid-July. And I'm now actually going to tie my bed off because it currently looks like this. So I think I'm going to tie my bed off, take my makeup off, get ready for bed and go to sleep. Good morning everyone, it is the 16th of August today, it is Thursday. I've been up for about 2 hours, it's now 11:15 and I woke up at 8:30, which is surprising considering I didn't get to sleep until 1 last night. I got up at 8:30 this morning. Well, I didn't get up. I got out of bed at 9 and made my bed, done everything like that. And I managed to get a workout in this morning. In other words, I managed to get on the Wii on Just Dance 2 this morning because that is literally the extent of it. But it's better than nothing. But right now, I've just come onto The Sims on my laptop. And it's really useful for planning characters' houses. If I zoom in here, this is the ground floor plan for Bailey's house. But the thing is, I'm going to move her house to a bigger lot. I think it's called a bigger, I don't know, just a bigger plot. Because in the book, there is a scene in where they are in the back garden. So I'd really like to write that. I'd really like to plan that out. And I think what they're gonna have is a little bandstand dining area with a barbecue. So I can't actually remember the last time I filmed, but it is now currently 10 to 4, I think. Last night, interestingly, I remembered that I have monthly goals and I completely forgot to write some out for August. So I did that last night. It's the middle of the month. You will find out what I accomplished when I make my next monthly goals video. So I have spent the last 2 hours. The first hour I got my guitar out, did a bit of music. I learnt a new riff, which is pretty cool, and it's one of the intro riffs to an As It Is song. I have also spent the last 2 hours just kind of chilling. I actually planned out my content for September and October. and November. So I think it's now time to do some outlining. I still need to read through part 3 and like add in some scenes. I've already like gone through parts 1 and 2, but I didn't get the chance to really read through part 3 last night. Oh, and I'm thinking book 3 is going to be Nolan's and Orva's story. So I do kind of get to write Bailey and Julian in a way, because they will be in that book as well. It's about, I was about to say 20 to 6 then, it's not, it's 20 to 7. This day's gone quite quickly actually, and I've done a little bit more planning for the second book, and I think I figured out when I'm actually revealing the title, and I think it's the 11th of November I'm revealing it. Yes, the 11th of November is when I am revealing the title, which is so exciting because at that point I will actually be writing it, hopefully. The reason why I'm taking my hair down is because I'm going to brush it through and go for a shower. Like I said, I've done a bit of planning, a bit of pre-outlining, and it's going well. I'm hoping to finish it tomorrow and write it up and like print out on everything, and then that will be the whole pre-outline done. I will show you in just a second what my current view on my bed is. I will now show you what my current situation is. This is what it currently looks like. I've got the final pre-outlines here, and then obviously this is my rough pre-outline. This is absolutely crazy. Does anybody else think this is very tedious and very crazy? Because I certainly do. And this is actually my process. So it's now 8:30 and it's actually getting dark. Not gonna lie, I'm really looking forward to the autumn weather because it's still too hot. It's still too humid here. Well, it's not too hot. It's just the fact it's the humidity that's getting on my nerves now. Like, it's too humid. Yes, people that know a lot about IT and everything like that probably hate me right now for winding this around my straightener, because it'll break the bronze or whatever, the copper, whatever goes through it, the copper cable, I don't know. Don't question me, but I was actually doing this with my curling iron once. My curling iron? When do I have to say that? My curling wand. And with my ex around, and he is like a massive computer nerd. Yeah, that didn't go down too well. He said I shouldn't do it, but you know what? Fuck him. I still do it. And I think I'm going to start outlining at about 9, I think, because I do really want to get some more done before that. That's me. I want to sort through my makeup bag and pick out an outfit for tomorrow. I can't actually remember the last time I filmed a clip. It must have been just under an hour ago. It's now about 9:20. The last, I want to say 40 minutes, I have just been sorting through my makeup bag, like just changing it up really, because every so often I like to do that, and so I decided to do that today. And I also picked out my outfit for tomorrow because I think like I want to get up like fairly early tomorrow. Like I want to wake up, I'm going to push it and say 7:30. But right now I think I'm going to get back to outlining book 2. I've had this idea, but I don't know if it's like going to work, because I think what I'm going to do is, this book that I'm currently doing is a Bailey's and Julian's perspective, and then the next book is going to be, the third book is going to be Orva's and Nolan's perspective, and there's this particular subplot that I kind of want to carry on into the third book, and I don't know if it's going to work or not. There is a little issue that's coming up now for me because of where I want to put this particular scene, but it's not a big issue and I feel like talking about it's not doing anything, so I'm going to go ahead, write it up. It's now 10 o'clock. I'm having to be a little quieter and I've just finished puzzling part 4 together. Random stuff like pens, notepad, another notepad there, but that's my to-do planner type thing, folder, and here we are. This is part 3. Here we go. And then I also have my written up pre-outlines as well. Good morning everyone, it is Friday the 17th of August. I'm just putting my shoes on quickly, I'll explain it in a minute. So it is currently 10 o'clock and I woke up at 8 this morning, so I'm waking up a little bit earlier every day. So I think over the weekend I'm going to try waking up at 7:30 and we'll see how that goes. Got up, got ready, like did everything in the bathroom, made my bed, and I had breakfast, did a bit of a workout, and now I am like actually dressed. I've got jeans and boots on, however I've got like this loose top on, so I should be okay. Oh, sunglasses, that's one thing. I'm only heading out for a little bit, it will probably only take me like 10-15 minutes, but I'm going to collect my prescription from the pharmacy. I said that really weirdly. I'm collecting my prescription from the pharmacy, that's why I'm all dressed and ready, and my battery's flashing, which is a cue for me to leave. Pretty much everything for this morning, and then I think when I come back it will be a case of lying all of part 4 out on my bed and writing that up. As you can see, I've got my laptop balanced precariously in this basket which needs to be taken out. I have just uploaded this week's video ready for Sunday because I'm just excited to be making videos again. But the only issue I have is that I'm going to really hate myself when I come to edit this vlog. I actually stripped my bed this morning and my sheets are now all clean, so I'm going to put those back on my bed. Right, so as I was saying before I got distracted by my phone and Instagram, story of my life really. I'm going to put my sheets back on my bed and then I think it'll be a case of outlining. It's now 2:30 and it's time to like prep everything and get ready to finish this pre-outline. I'm so excited. It's about 10 to 4 and I have now completed the whole entire pre-outline. Right here I have all of the parts. Part 1, 2, 3 and 4. And 4 feels like the thinnest out of all of them. I think the thickest one is probably part 3 because so much happens in part 3. It's slightly ridiculous. I think I had something like 27 scenes for it, and there might have been like 0.5s and stuff like that as well in there, so it's probably about 30 scenes for part 3 in total, which is absolutely ridiculous. But the whole pre-outlining process is now complete. I can't believe how fast this is going. I want to say I started my brain dumping process in June? No. It must have been, no. It must have been at the beginning of this month. end of July, beginning of this month sort of time, I started the brain dumping process, which is the very first step, the very first stage of this process. That is pretty much everything for this vlog. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe down below to keep up with what I'm up to and where I'm at in my writing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!